What do you say?
He kind of like looks kind of bumped up, but he looks in a very good shape. I saw his sparring, so I'm not gonna talk. Maybe he was born under the lucky star, and the road is just a path is just going very, very smooth for him. Very well. His preparation is already coming down in the very end, and soon as going to be back home in a week or so. Yeah, about in a week, maybe 10 days. We're going to Australia.
What I believe is that the puzzle of boxing, Alexander solves multiple times. Too many times already, and I think this is a puzzle he hasn't solved yet. So I'm gonna bring kickboxing angles, bring a different type of puzzle, and like I said, I'm a big unit. I'm like 125 kilos, so this is something that
it's not pressure for me. Listen, it's just fight. It's a boxing fight. It's a normal. I prepare for this fight.
But he's going to be dangerous. Like all the attributes that he has, they still exist, regardless of his mental state. But I see a kid in pain. You know, I've got to be honest with you. Like, I don't see how people around him can be looking at his behaviour and being comfortable with it. And I don't
look at Alexander, what he's done. He's wiped the floor with everybody. He's established himself at the top there. So now you look at him and you'll think financially, will he be in a better position than Tyson Fury? No, not in my opinion. Anthony Joshua? No, not in my opinion. The big money fights aren't out there for him. So he's got to do something. He's got to put himself in a position where he's got to win, because he's proved he's top draw. So in this fight here, I think it creates interest, intrigue. I'm quite sure there's a healthy pay packet at the end of it. This is now
very calculated, but yeah, when I connect, I connect. Like I said, there's a lot of weight behind these punches. So yeah, of course, within the kickboxing sport, I was used to just throwing the kicks and doing my thing, but now we get the opportunity to use the hands more. So Peter is like, oh, he's like crazy excited.
Alexander Usyk just hospitalized his sparring partner. And what happened in that gym session tells you everything you need to know about this crossover fight.
Alexander Usyk is the Rico Verhoeven in boxing.
Yeah.
So like he's been dominating for so long and in such phenomenal fashion. So I was like, wow, if we could do this, that would be like the cherry on the cake.
The reports coming out of camp are absolutely brutal. Usyk dropped his training partner so hard they had to call an ambulance. While Rico Verhoeven is still doing interviews, the Ukrainian is quietly preparing like a man possessed.
Dan, he's kind of earned the right to do what you want, but I at least expected it to be some sort of active boxer, someone of some... Not to say, I don't actually know much about Van Hooven in terms of a kickboxer, of what his quality level is, but what I'm saying is I expected it to be someone of a decent caliber of a professional boxer. But if it's not, then fine. Look, do your thing, do you, and hopefully he returns to actual professional boxing against some of the top.
His manager Egiz Klima's just confirmed camp is nearly complete and everything is on schedule. Zero drama, zero distractions. Just cold, calculated preparation. That's the difference between a champion and someone stepping into a completely different world.
For a long time and not really done much in boxing at all to warrant a shot at Alexander Usyk when there's a queue so big. And indeed, you know what I mean. And that's the most important thing. The people who are sitting waiting for their shot in line are going to be fuming over this. Some would say, to counter their argument, Usyk's probably earned the right to have an easier one.
Rico keeps talking about being a new puzzle for Usyk to solve. But here's the reality check. Size and kickboxing angles mean absolutely nothing against elite boxing IQ. This isn't kickboxing where Rico dominates. This is boxing.
But I'm not interested in... I like Rico moving, sparred him, know him, nice fella, very good kickboxer, one of the best of all time, but he's not a boxer. If he wants to fight...
Can he box?
Yeah, he can box, he's a very good boxer, but he shouldn't be boxing the best heavyweight in the world. If he wants to do it as an exhibition, go and do it. I'm not interested in Usyk Verhoeven, just for the simple...
Listen to how ice-cold Usyk sounds when discussing this fight. Zero pressure, zero concern. He's treating this like routine business while Rico is building hype. That mindset difference, that's what makes champions so dangerous.
And I can see how the monetization vehicle of this works. But Usyk wouldn't be doing this unless there's a reason for it. There must be a motivation behind it. It must be some form of derivative as to what happened between the various disciplines crossing over with Ngannou.
Even Eddie Hearn sees the danger here, and he's trying to be diplomatic. Rico might carry power, but stepping into a boxing ring against Usyk is a mental test he's never faced. The pressure could crack him before the first bell.
Alexander Usyk steps in and will take on one of the greatest kickboxers of all time. I'm actually quite a big kickboxing fan, so I know quite a lot about him. I've watched a few of his fights over the years. They used to call him the Prince of Kickboxing, and then he elevated to the King of Kickboxing. I mean, he's a very, very, very good kickboxer who's got decent hands, I can't lie.
Johnny Nelson said it perfectly. Usyk has already dominated everyone put in front of him. This might be business for the Ukrainian, but even his business mode operates at a level Rico has never experienced inside a boxing ring.
Rico wanted the fight, Usyk wanted it. They said both ultimate fighting men, aren't they? So fights like this are not going to be hard.
Here's where the reality check hits hardest. Boxing isn't just about landing heavy shots. It's about timing, precision, and ring IQ. Usyk has mastered these elements against elite fighters for years. Rico's size advantage, it disappears fast against technical perfection.
One bout as a professional boxer, you go, so, how can he jump the queue and box Alexander Usyk for the WBC title? To me, that doesn't make any sense at all, and I think it makes a mockery, again, of the WBC.
Rico admits he's comparing himself to Usyk, but that comparison exposes everything. Usyk proved his dominance against world champions. Rico's success comes from kickboxing. Calling this a cherry on the cake shows the mentality gap that could decide everything.
This is a joke. This is nothing but a gimmick fight, and it's even more shameless considering the fact, one, it's on pay-per-view, and two, it's for the WBC Heavyweight Championship of the world. Does Rico Verhoeven, with his one win over a decade ago against the guy who was 0-5, deserve a world title shot? Answers on a postcard. Can you play the recorder? No. That's the answer. This is shocking. Shocking stuff from Alexander Usyk. This is Alexander Usyk picking money over legacy.
The critics are raising serious questions about this matchup. Usyk's resume is filled with elite names at the highest level. Then suddenly a crossover opponent jumps the line. It highlights how unusual this situation really is.
It's big, it's real fight. It's a dangerous guy. It's a undisputed champion for kickboxing. It's a big guy, but this is 50% show, 50% fight. But for me, it's 100% fight, because I very serious training, my plan.
Real contenders are waiting for their shot while Rico gets fast-tracked to a title fight. Even if Usyk earned the right to take different fights, putting belts on the line changes everything. The pressure is real, but Rico's boxing experience isn't.
This is the real kickboxing king, a heavyweight undisputed champion that's reigned for 12 years plus, at the top. So he's fought everybody. So now, he's had every kind of challenge, he's come through that, and with him being around me in boxing as well for so long, and knowing that he fancies it, and he said, we had a discussion about it.
Dave Allen called it exactly what many are thinking, a complete mismatch. Rico might have solid skills, but facing the best heavyweight in the world is a different universe. When you compare their boxing journeys, this could be one-sided from the opening bell.
It's going to be Verhoeven's second professional boxing match. But guys, Verhoeven is 6'5", 270, and he is like the dominant champion in kickboxing. I used to watch kickboxing all the time. Growing up, if there was no boxing on TV way before the UFC, they'd like ESPN to have kickboxing on. I used to watch it, right? Chris, you have fought. Now look, it is not boxing.
So there you have it. A hospitalized sparring partner, ice-cold preparation, and a crossover opponent stepping into deep waters against boxing's most technical heavyweight. This isn't just about one fight. It's about levels, experience, and what happens when kickboxing greatness meets boxing mastery. Here's my question. Do you think Rico's size and power can overcome Usyk's technical dominance, or is this the mismatch everyone's calling it? Drop your prediction in the comments, smash that like button if this breakdown opened your eyes, and subscribe because this fight is going to be absolutely wild. I'll see you in the next one.
I think the fight is going to be a fun one. I think Usyk's probably going to wash Rico, but hey, you never know. Francis walked in there, knocked down Tyson, jiggled his balls in his face, and ended up almost beating him. So yeah, I'll watch this. It's an entertainment fight. It's a crossover fight, and while I think that Alexander Usyk has bigger fish to fry in the heavyweight division, when Kabiel is a